that kind of said that I couldn't do it in France.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'll have all her friends and all her family there watching, and she'll be loving the opportunity tonight to be playing from the start.
With that former Lyon player and the PSG rivalry, she probably doesn't need an extra incentive, but there is something.
We'll be supporting United today as well, I'm sure of it.
Definitely. You can see some pictures from the warm-up taking place over in Paris at the moment. Will it be a little bit daunting in some ways in that huge stadium, a stadium with so much history, so much significance in the footballing world? Will that faze our players in any way?
Potentially, but I think I can actually hear the Man United fans chanting there. So although they will be outnumbered, I'm sure every single Manchester United fan in there will be singing as loud as they can. You know, you can hear them at Leigh Sports Village. I'm sure you'll be hearing them loud and proud out there in Paris. But you've got to kind of enjoy these experiences. You want to play in full stadium. Sometimes if it's a little bit intimidating, it adds a little bit of a buzz to it. You want to silence the crowd.
Yeah.
If you've got a huge crowd there and you can play well and you can keep them quiet, it's an extra buzz for you, and that's like kind of, we're doing our job now, and it helps you kind of feel the vibe of the game by feeling the vibe of the supporters around you. And if you can silence them, then you know things are going quite well for you.
Yeah, we've heard just over 11,000 should be there. That's tickets sold. Whether more arrive on the night, we'll wait and see. Just over 150 United fans have travelled. Like you said, they will be as loud as anyone in that stadium. We'll probably hear them as much as anybody else.
I'm sure we will do, and that's the thing. It makes such a huge difference when the crowd get behind you, when you hear them chanting, singing songs, when it gets a little bit tougher, when you've got to track back, or when you need that little extra bit of motivation, that extra burst to go out and press the fullback or press the defender, getting high up the pitch. When you've got your crowd and you can hear your fans there chanting, it definitely gives you that extra buzz, that extra bit that you might need to get you that extra metre over the line.
Yeah, it sure does. Well, Mark Skinner will be hoping to mastermind a really big result tonight. Let's get his pre-match thoughts.
So, Mark, we have now arrived at our first away leg in the Champions League. How are you looking forward to this game?
I'm really looking forward to it as the wind picks up. Yeah, look, it's one of these games that we all live for. This is why you're at Manchester United, for big games. You know, we want many more to come. This is just the start for us. And so we've got to be calm and calculated. We've got to be ready for the occasion. We've got to be ready to play against their fans. But, you know, our fans will be in fine voice too. So, yeah, look, we've got to be ready. You have no choice. You know, we want to be ready. We want to be at this level. So we've got to perform.
And team news is in, as we can see, Mallard and Shacy, they start. Is that due to their impressive second half energy that they brought back at Leigh Sports Village?
Absolutely. Look, both of them are game winners as well. So, you know, Malvine has already understood to play against the French teams, so she brings a lot of experience from there. JC is just unbelievable talent, so you know she has the ability to win a game on her own. So I'd be fearing her if I was PSG's backline. So I think it's kind of balancing that off. So from our perspective, we're looking at how we can take the game to PSG. Even though they're at home, we've got to be able to win the game. We said we've got us to score in both legs if you want to go through. And we've done that in leg one. Now we need to make sure we do it in leg two.
Thank you very much, Mark, and good luck.
Yeah, good luck to Mark. And he mentioned that it's still very much at the start of the journey, really. This is still a very young team, and we hope there are so many more big mites to come, as befitting of the Manchester United name. But the team's done so well to even be at this stage, but now we've had a taste for it. We want more.
It definitely is, and when you achieve success really early in your time, it kind of drives those standards up, and once you're there, you don't want to drop back and say, well, we weren't planning on getting there just this quick. That goes out the window. It's no, we're there now. We need to stay there. We need to push on. We need to be consistently challenging for the WSL. We need to be in the Champions League, getting towards the latter stages. Yes, it's brilliant to be in the Champions League, but only 2 games isn't enough, is it? It makes you feel like you've got that close. You've done all the hard work to get there. You want to be in those the group stages, but it's very, very tough to get there, isn't it?
It really is, and that's something I probably didn't even consider when United did so well to qualify for the Champions League, that you still have work to do to get into the group stages and play more games. it's just so tantalisingly close, isn't it?
It is, and we saw obviously Arsenal went out at the group stage, the round before. So I think they had their players came back like 7 days post World Cup final to come back and then play their biggest game of the season. United have obviously, we've had a little bit longer to build up to that, but it's still very early in the season to be playing your most important match after having to work the entire season to get yourself into that position. It's difficult, and I think it probably does need to be looked at in terms of the number of teams that are in there, how the teams go through those qualifying procedures and the way the game's developing. Obviously the coefficients work differently depending on if you've been there before and you haven't. But for a team like Manchester United to be playing a team like PSG before the group stages is even there,
this is a knockout match, let alone post group stage match. This kind of level. Yeah,
well, Mark said post match of the home leg, he was like, this should be a quarter final tie.
Yeah,
and I completely agree. The standard was phenomenal. Women's football is improving and increasing in popularity and ability, and the talent coming through is phenomenal, and the investment. That it maybe does need a little look about how we work this tournament, this competition.
There's money to be made in it now, so I'm sure there will be a look at it. That is at 100%. OK, now at the weekend, in the game against Leicester, there was a significant milestone for our goalkeeper, Mary Earps. 100 appearances for Manchester United.
Obviously a hard thing to do. I feel like it doesn't sound like a big number, but in women's football that's a big number. That's like, I mean, this is my 5th season here, so yeah, incredibly honoured to make that list. There's a few Centurions in the dressing room, so yeah, happy days.
You mentioned there are a few Centurions there. I mean, to be part of that group, especially with how close you all are, I mean, how does that make you feel just being part of that togetherness?
Of course, it's nice to be part of the core group that. Okay, I've somewhat been here from the beginning, not quite the very start, and it's been a long road to get to where we are now, and obviously enjoy the Champions League like we did not so long ago. So yeah, great.
When you reflect back on everything that you've done, how does that make you feel that there has been so much growth? When you look back at your first ever game for the club to now, did you ever imagine you'd develop that much and just grow as a keeper?
I think, to be honest, when I first joined the club, I hoped that this is where my career would get to. But in the middle, I wasn't sure. So I think the first couple of years, at the very beginning that I joined, I hoped that I would go on to achieve some of the great things that I've done. But then sort of a year or two in, it wasn't looking like that was going to be the case. And I really had to work really hard quietly behind closed doors for a long time. And I sort of, got to the fact that wasn't going to happen for me. It wasn't on the cards. I wasn't quite good enough. So yeah, I'm just so chuffed and so proud that I've been able to go on this long road, and I hope my story can inspire others to just never give up and do the same, because you never know when the best things are right around the corner.
Yeah, well done to Mary. Hope she has a really good game tonight. But then you don't want her to be too busy, so maybe I don't want her to touch the ball very much. But she's done magnificently well for club and country.
She has done, and I think the biggest thing is the consistency for her. It's not just one game where she's been brilliant and another game where she's had a few wobbles. She's been fantastic for a consistent period of time now, and that's why she's up where she is, receiving the accolades that she is, and received her 100th cap for Manchester United, and hopefully not too busy tonight.
100%. There's many more to come, that is for sure. OK then, massive 90 minutes ahead, or maybe more. This game could go the difference. Very closely matched sides. Take you to the match action at Siobhan, and I will hand over to your commentators, Lindsay and Liam.
Thanks, Sully. Yes, welcome along. It is deadline night at the Parc des Princes, Manchester United against PSG, and a place in the Champions League proper for these two. Draw takes place on Friday for the winner, and it could be huge.
It's massive for, you know, Manchester United, the first time in the Champions League, and they'll be hoping it's finally poised 1-1. They'll be hoping to see if they can get that win tonight.
Paris Saint-Germain line up, that change in goal. Katarzyna Kicianek comes back in. We think it'll be a back three, potentially a back four. Legui, D'Almeida and Claire Hunt, the three at the back. Then five in midfield: Baltimore, Albert, Grunen, Gayoro and Karshoui, Lika Martins and Tabitha Chawinga up front. It could potentially be four at the back. If that's the case, Karshoui will drop back into the back four, and you'll end up with a three up front of Chawinga, Martins and Baltimore. In terms of Manchester United, I'll go through them in just a second, as the graphic on the screen just shows you exactly what we were saying. So it is a 4-3-3 more likely, with Legui at right back, Albert, Grunen and Gayoro across the middle, Chawinga, Martins and Baltimore, which is almost identical to the side that played Manchester United at the Leigh Sports Village a week ago, except Claire Hunt comes back in covering that injury, and a change in goal. Constance Pico drops to the bench and Katarzyna Kicianek comes back in, the Paris Saint-Germain #1. In terms of the visiting side and where we're interested, Manchester United line up with Mary Earps in goal. It's going to be that same back four. So Hannah Blundell switches to left back. Jade Riviere comes in to cover for Gabby George. That injury she picked up against Leicester, keeping her out of that one and keeping her out for a significant length of time. We wish her well in her recovery. Millie Turner and Maya Letitia will be in the centre of defence for Manchester United. Now, it could again be a 4-2-3-1 for Mark Skinner, or it could be a 4-3-3. I'm inclined to think that Mark Skinner will want to match Paris Saint-Germain up. And if that's the case, we will end up with Ella Toon, Katie Zellem and Lisa Nalsund across the midfield, with Galton and Melvin Mallard either side of Jeza up front for Manchester United. Lindsay Johnson, that is a strong Manchester United team, and they have decided that they're going to try and match Paris Saint-Germain up after the 20 minutes at the start of the game at the LSV, where they were overrun by Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah, they were. It took them, you know, a long time in that first half to try and come to terms with the threat of the three up front for PSG, particularly Chawinga and Baltimore. You know, Martins, we know her strength, but it was also Gayora. Everyone's come through in that 10 position, causing problems for the Manchester United back four. But it was really Chawinga that Manchester United couldn't get to grips with in that first half. But, you know, once those second half changes were made, Blundell did really well against Chawinga, and we really need her tonight to be on form and matching Chawinga now that she knows her strengths and no weaknesses as well. You know, she's, as we've said in the show, she's very left-footed. You know, we've not really seen much of her right foot, so Blundell's got lots to think about there, showing her on the outside, or we talked about showing her on the inside, so lots to think about there.
A couple of things we were talking about in the green room was whether you would show a very left-footed player to the outside where they're less dangerous, or whether you're that confident that they've only got one foot that you actually show them inside knowing they can't take the shot on their right foot.
Yeah, there's that, and there's also, if you've talked about it in training, which obviously Mark will have, then you get your left centre half coming over to double up on her as well. But yeah, it's a tough one, but I think the important thing is that you're matching her.
I think we are going to have a moment's silence here for the victims of the conflict in Israel and Palestine. Impeccably observed, the Parc des Princes, we think will have somewhere around 11,000 people inside tonight. A huge crowd for a huge game. Manchester United in that lovely white away kit, and Paris Saint-Germain in their famous navy with red trim. And it's going to be Paris Saint-Germain to get us underway. Gotta say, congratulations to the well over 150 away fans that have travelled from Manchester to Paris on a Wednesday evening. Credit to you. to Katie Zellum, just checking with the match officials as to whether or not there's going to be a taking of the knee, and it's waved away, and we are underway. And Jackie Groenen sends the ball all the way out to the right-hand side, and Legee plays it back infield to Claire Hunt, who was one of the players that we identified, Lindsay Johnson, as potentially being one of those you could get at. Manchester United trying to do that nice and early, high press up the pitch, and foul is committed by Ella Toon.
Yeah, a really good start, and I was just about to say, you know, United didn't start particularly well last week. Also, that was down to PSG's really quick start to the game and high intensity, and I think Mark Skinner would definitely be saying to his side tonight, let's start with a high press, let's put them under pressure, you know, let's start the game as we mean to go on.
Forward by Paris Saint-Germain. I think Manchester United will be watching out for that rapid transition of PSG. We saw it at the Leigh Sports Village last week. They are dangerous on the break. Definitely do not want to let them get away with that this evening. There's the ball into the channel. It's going to be dealt with by Millie Turner. Situational awareness from Manchester United centre-half is excellent. Zellum has her pocket picked. Here comes the former Manchester United player Jackie Groenen. Comes through to De Almeida and out to Karshawi. Dangerous. Corbin Albert. Gayoro, the captain. Flipped into Karshawi again. Groenen to Almeida. Good pressure from Manchester United, making sure that PSG don't have a route forward and force them back into their own half. And then a long ball up and over the top, runs tracked by everybody, headed away by Maya Letitia, and up to Melvin Mallard, who will know very well Paris Saint-Germain after spending so much time at Lyon and the rivalry between those two sides in the French league.
Yeah, and you could tell how much it meant to her last week when she got that equalising goal. You know, she did celebrate, and rightly so as well. She come on and made a massive difference to United. Crowd's not liking the United possession.
Well, that will benefit Manchester United. Often hear it said by managers and players, but if you can turn the crowd early, it works to your advantage all the way through, especially in these big games.
Yeah, I think so, and you know that, you know, if you can hear the crowd particularly negative because you've got the ball, you're doing a good job. And it's, again, a great turn by JC there. We've seen it so much in that first leg.
Here come Manchester United. Ella Toon down the left-hand side. Looks to get an early cross in. Doesn't quite come off for her. Instead, it's cleared away. We've got a player down. Referee's going to allow play to continue, then says a little bit too much from Manchester United on Lika Martins.
Yeah, it was Millie Turner just overzealous there in the tackle, but just letting her know that she's there, which I think is great for the start of the game. And as long as you don't go too far in where you're going to receive an early yellow, I think it's really good to let the attacker know that you're there, and you know they're in for a tough game.
The atmosphere is incredible. You can hear the fans already in this one, waiting for this to be taken by Legee. Comes back out to Baltimore, who's going to try and link everything up here. Slip back through. The touch is not good enough. Legee's going to get the cross in, headed away by Millie Turner. Comes back out to Gayoro. Delivery's very good from her as she shows there, bending one into the penalty area. Jackie Groenen. And now Elisa De Almeida. Karshawi. Infield ball finds Corbin Albert. Floated back into the box. Too much on that one, and Manchester United will be relieved to watch it trickle out of play.
And it's reminiscent of that first leg as well, where at the start of the game and elements of that first half, PSG just seem to be so fluid in their movement, and even though they've got a formation, the front three in particular, they seem to wonder where they want, where there's a space they'll go, and that makes it really hard for the defender to be able to keep track of them and mark them.
PSG just beginning to assert control here. Baltimore against Blundell. Good tracking from Hannah Blundell. But Paris Saint-Germain recycle possession to Almeida, the centre-half. Clips it out to Karshawi. He's going to float an early ball into the penalty area, headed away. There, Galton back and defending for Manchester United. Nalsund. Malar escapes the pressure, finds Katie Zellem. Zellem almost turns herself back into trouble, but manages to get the ball away. Thought she was going to go down just for a moment, but instead manages to wriggle free. Galton not going to get there. That's a strong tackle in midfield from Katie Zellem. Moves up and over the top, maybe something to run onto here. Kidjanek just enough, fakes the big clearance and collects the ball on the edge of the box.
And you can see that PSG are putting some really high press on the United players, so they've got to move the ball quickly. You can see Zellem getting caught on the ball at times. She needs to move it quickly.
Millie Turner trying to deal with Grace Gayora. Baltimore and Blundell again, that running battle, we've seen it plenty in the opening 6 minutes. Gets to the byline, floated in, turned away. Jade Riviere with the diving header to get it clear. Karshawi again floats one into the penalty area, headed away by Turner. Well, defensively good from Manchester United to start with. This is Jay-Z. Well, any opportunity she has to run, she's going to do that. Jay-Z's still going here. She's up to the edge of the penalty area. Could be incredible from Jay-Z. What's she going to do from here? Manages to keep hold of possession, but in terms of territory gained, absolutely fantastic. Eventually, Elisa D'Almeida gets back at her. Jay-Z puts the tackle in. It goes behind for a goal kick.
Really good work by both players there. Like I say, when Jay-Z's got the ball and she's running, you can see the PSG defenders are worried. They're backing off. There was two players there backing off from Jay-Z. Almeida was really good defending in the end, forced her out wide, was able to win possession of the ball.
Lovely footwork, isn't it, from Sandy Baltimore to get the cross in, but good awareness from Jade Riviere. Thrown in for pretty much her full debut against Paris Saint-Germain at the Leigh Sports Village, then played a good chunk of the game against Leicester on Sunday because of the injury to Gabby George, and has started tonight's game positively.
Yeah, she has, and I think obviously that momentum of having the experiences last week in the PSG game, which is a massive game to come into, and then obviously lots of minutes at the weekend, is only a good thing for her to come in tonight and start the game positively like she has.
Baltimore, though, has escaped Hannah Blundell and has a bit of space to move. Nalsund comes across the cover. It's excellent work from Melvie Malar. Tracks back from that right wing, steps in, snuffs out the danger.
Yeah, really good defending, and you know, you want your forward players to do that, the likes of Mallard and if Jay-Z can as well, but at the same time United need them higher up the pitch to be able to obviously get on that attack and try and pose some threats for PSG.
Over exuberant from Chewinga. Leah Letitia is fouled and it's a free kick to Manchester United.
And tonight Chewinga's got that different battle. Last week it was mainly her and Blundell. There was a couple of times when she swapped sides, but tonight she's got Riviere, so very athletic Riviere, and she's quick, and she's going to have to be really on her game and really concentrate tonight to be able to get on those 1v1s with her.
Highest starting position for Jade Riviere last week at the Leigh Sports Village. Manchester United went three at the back, or thought about going three at the back to try and match up what they thought Paris Saint-Germain were going to do. Unfortunately, when PSG came out in that 4-3-3, took Manchester United just a couple of minutes to figure out what was going on. Euro escapes the attentions of Ella Toon. McGee. Claire Hunt, the Australian, goes back to Katarzyna Kidjanek. That's a lovely ball through the middle. Going to have to be dealt with here. Chewinga's got round her. Chewinga's going to have a go. That left foot letting her down. Well, plenty for Lindsay Johnson to unpick there.
And at first I was thinking, this is great. United have let them have the ball. They've resorted to the long ball. They're not going to get on that. But Chewinga's got through in between May Letitia there and Riviere. Got on the back shoulder of Letitia and in between her and Riviere. Really good touch by her. but just not enough on it, and May Letitia does really well to try and intercept that shot.
I think Mary Earps as well. Once you're out of your penalty area, your options become so limited as a goalkeeper. You can't go with your hands. You've got to make the tackle with your feet, but what you can't do is make the foul there because you're gone.
Yeah.
So I think she's done just enough to make herself awkward, Mary Earps, and then relied on one of those defenders getting back. Meanwhile, we're having some issues with the communications equipment between the referees and officials, so that's the reason for the break in play. As you can see, top left of your screen, just tucking in cables. Lisa Dalmeida wants to get on with it, so is now helping out. All Macedonian refereeing team. In fact, this referee, the first Macedonian official to be accepted by UEFA, Ivana Plozhkovska. Amazing what you find out when you're prepping.
Really good, and really good pronunciation.
Well, I think I probably got it all sorts of wrong. If you're Macedonian, I can only apologise. It could be Projkovska with the hard J, but I don't know. I just said it confidently in the vain hope that...
It's showing off now.
Yeah, nobody had called me out on it. Millie Turner. Don't do this job if you don't like showing off. I wanted to be a footballer, but I was rubbish. Ball's out of play over on that far side, and Manchester United just trying to get a foothold in the game after 5 or 6 minutes of PSG dominance. There have been some landslide victories elsewhere in the Women's Champions League this evening, including an 11-0 aggregate win for Slavia Prague. If we get a quiet moment, I'll run you through a couple of those, because obviously winners of those ties go through to the draw on Friday. All potential opponents for Manchester United. It's Millie Turner. Finds Leah Galton. Galton waiting for the runner, gets it in Hannah Blundell. Blundell's going to give this back to Galton. This is good football from Manchester United. Galton with the cross. Good cross it is as well. It's just over the top. It's going to go out for a corner. Well, that's really well worked by Manchester United. Delivery into the penalty area. Couldn't find the head of Ella Toon, but they've won second prize.
Yeah, all started with Millie Turner. Really nice and brave, driving into midfield. Plays a nice ball into Leah Galton, is able to play a 1-2 with Blundell on that left-hand side. And nice crossing from Leah Galton, wasn't it?
Is that a limp from Ella Toon? I hope I'm wrong.
She did look a little bit laboured in that jump, you know, when she was jumping for the ball then. Didn't seem to be as energetic as we normally see from her. We
will keep an eye on her. Meanwhile, Katie Zellum delivers into the penalty area. It's a good ball as well. Bouncing around, chance for Toon, tries to play it back in. But slips as she takes the shot, and maybe a break on here as it comes through the middle. Well read by Jade Riviere. Plays it back to Mary Earps, who gives it the calm down, the universal gesture for calm down. There's only a couple of those that actually translate across the board. One's "can I have the bill, please?" and the other one is "calm down." You know, when you sign the imaginary bit of paper in the air.
Yeah.
Lovely ball. Finds Jade Riviere at the opposite end of the field here. Is going to get this into Jay-Z. Jay-Z with the effort. It's just over the bar. Well, excellent football from Manchester United.
Yeah, really good. And if Riviere needs any sort of confidence, that little spell there where she got back, recovered, was able to play the ball back to Mary Earps, and then we saw her athleticness, gets up the pitch, plays a nice ball into JC, and there you just thought it was going to dip, didn't you? Just didn't dip enough to make the keeper make a save.
Starting to see what Jade Riviere offers to this Manchester United side. It's not been the easiest of introductions. Start against Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League and then have to come off the bench really early against Leicester. Gets an opportunity from right back this evening.
I think it's a really important battle, this midfield battle with Zellum, Toon and Narsland. I think in that first half, in the first leg, midfield is where United kind of lost the ball, weren't really involved. So they need to make an impact, the three of them, and really impose themselves on the game.
Good touch from Baltimore to get her away. She's going to get it back here with Blundell marking, trying to get there. That's a good tackle from Lisa Nalson. Comes back across and a speculative toe from Corbin Albert, and now Karshawi into the D. Shot comes in, blocked brilliantly by Maya Letitia. Manchester United can get out. Latoon just a little unfortunate to run into the brick wall that is Jackie Grunin. It's good pressure from Manchester United, and it's led to the mistake from Legui, and it's allowed Jay-Z to come away. Jay-Z's going to play this into Galton. Galton with the chance, edge of the penalty area, back to Jay-Z. Jay-Z trying to get her feet sorted, just wriggles away from her. Second ball collected by Narsund. This is positive from Manchester United. Turner shovels the ball out to the left-hand side, finds Galton. Galton with the strong run into the penalty area, well defended by Gayoro, the captain tracking back from midfield.
Fantastic play by United there, moving the ball really quickly, and even when they had to recycle the ball, it comes out quickly and back into Leah Galton. It was a really good pass by Millie Turner into her feet, but really putting the pressure on now, United, on this PSG backline.
One of the things that a lot of people say they'd like to see Millie Turner do more is commit into midfield like that and pull midfielders out of the way and out of position. And you can see what she's capable of doing, Millie Turner, in those positions.
Yeah, and that's what she started off as a youngster. When I played with her at Everton, she started off as a midfielder. She's got terrific ball technique at her feet. Definitely could play midfield.
Well, Jade Riviere up against Chewinga, loses that foot race. Chewinga with the effort, big save, Mary Earps. Comes back out though, opportunity, finish. Manchester United are behind. Lika Martins, 1-0 on the night, 2-1 aggregate.
Yeah, that's really disappointing. As United were coming into the game, we've just seen that counter. It was a really quick transition from Karshawi on that left-hand side, from Chewinga on that left-hand side initially. Wins the race between her and Riviere and puts in a really nice, powerful shot into the goal. We can see here just shoulder to shoulder, and she's got such a strong, powerful shot. Muriev's able to make that first save, but Karshawi, it was quite easy for her in the end. You know, she was following up and got to the ball first. Just can close it down in time and drills it into the back of the net.
So difficult with somebody of the pace of Chewinga. Riviere trying her hardest there to get back at her, but Chewinga with the shot forced the save, and then it was just a case of who was going to be quickest to the second ball. Free kick's gone Manchester United's way.
There's so much pace on that left-hand side for PSG, well, all over the pitch at elements, but Karshawi and Chewinga, you know, really lots of pace, but Riviere's not short of pace, so you know, that's a tough one to take, but really well worked goal by Chewinga and Karshawi.
Turner, Toon, Letitia. Malal. Feels there was contact there from Corbin Albert, but the referee allows play on. Blundell.
And in that position, Malal coming that deep for the ball into midfield, that's where you need your Narsland, and Zellum to come and get on that ball. You don't want your wide players coming in central and that deep.
Blundell with the take on. Plays the ball into the channel. It's just a little speculative from the Manchester United fullback. Polish stopper Katarzyna Kicinek. Ball's loose in midfield. United have possession back. Leah Galton. Toon. Jay-Z. Oh, brilliant stuff from the Manchester United number 23. Into the penalty area. Has some space as well. Gets it across. Laid off by Nalsund. Toon picks it up. Move still going. Nalsund with a heavy touch, and all of a sudden PSG snuff out the danger. Manchester United were in a really promising position. Couldn't make it count.
No, and I'm not sure Narslan Nuam, she had a little bit more time than that in the box and tried to just play a wall pass back into the top of the D, and it just didn't pull out, it just didn't come off. But there, just hold the ball up or try and turn. Disappointing there.
Offside given against Paris Saint-Germain, so it will be a Manchester United free kick. Jade Rivière. Fan of Mark Skinner's jumper, that was.
We don't normally see him in a brightly coloured jumper, do we, for the game?
See what Leah Galton was trying to do. Doesn't quite get there. Legui goes down in a blaze of dramatics, but bounces back to her feet.
And if, you know, United 1-0 down halfway through this first half, they've been here before, they've experienced this before. The same thing happened last week, so, you know, they've got the capabilities and the capacity to get back into this game, so need to be confident, not get frustrated.
Well, one of the things that definitely happened last week at the Leigh Sports Village was the amount of running that Paris Saint-Germain did in the opening sort of hour. They definitely tailed off towards the end of the game, and opportunities did open up for Manchester United. We'll be hoping for the same again, but need to be smarter in possession than that. Gayoro looks to play this through. Offside flag goes up. It was always likely from that position. Lika Martins looked like she was ahead of the line.
Yeah, it was an obvious offside, and we saw again Chawinga using the outside of her left foot there for a driven pass into Lika Martins.
Turner. Toon goes back to the central defender. Blundell knows that she's got Legui right behind her. Only really has one option there, and that was back to Mary Earps. Now Blundell's got a bit of space to move into. Finds two. Back to Blundell. It was a difficult ball with Sandy Baltimore next to Jay-Z like that. Hunt takes over. That's a lovely tackle from Jay-Z. Doesn't quite come off, and she stays down too. Hopefully will pop back to her feet.
It's one of them where it looks like she rolled over the ball as well. It was really good pressure from Jay-Z.
She is back on her feet, the Brazilian. It's come off a Paris Saint-Germain player in Jackie Grunin. Jocelyn Précheur cut his teeth elsewhere in France before taking over from his dad, who was the prior incumbent of the PSG Feminin role. Loose pass into midfield again from Manchester United, and it gifts another opportunity. This is Baltimore. Karshoui now playing central and driving towards the Manchester United goal. Turned away. Grunin. Legui. Baltimore. Manchester United sat deep. Jade Rivière's going to try and get over to Chawinga. Gayoro. Finds Martins. Good tackle comes in. Eventually forces the ball backwards, and Manchester United can move up 5 yards.
You're right, Liam, it's too deep for Manchester United, and I know that's easy for us to say when we're watching, but they are too deep at times.
It's a good out ball to Ella Toon though, and Toon now running looking for a route through. Can she find this to Jay-Z? She does. Jay-Z in the penalty area, looks to get away. Referee says offside. Well, that was tight.
Yeah, it was tight. It didn't look offside in my first initial observations, but yeah, really tight. Just seen a replay of the goal. Chawinga in that foot race with Riviere.
If you've got somebody, just from your defensive experience, Lindsay, if you've got somebody that's that quick, are you stopping them, trying to get that head of steam up in the first place? Are you trying to get as tight as you can to them to prevent them from doing that?
You know, if you haven't somebody that speed, you need to give them a little yard. You need to be a yard in front of them, because if once they get going, you need to have that space between you and them. If you get so tight, then someone like Chawinga is going to do you in that race.
Certainly, if they roll you, that's definitely the case. Manchester United certainly know they're in a game. 25 minutes gone, 1-0. Lika Martin's goal, the difference between the two sides. Jay-Z looking to turn away. Hunt adjudged to have fouled the Brazilian. 6 and 2 threes, really. And Jay-Z will know that. A little fortunate to win the free kick there.
Yeah, and Jay-Z's having to come deep as well to try and get on the ball. United are finding it hard to find spaces and to move that. They need to move the ball quicker. It's a good break out here from Maya Letitia.
Comes back to Millie Turner. You can just hear these Manchester United fans, can't you, in the background. Flicked on by Leah Galton, who has her work cut out for her this evening. Well, Groenen, it's a difficult pass, manages to get it back to Hunt. Drill the cost to Karshawi. Chawinga, back to Karshawi. Lovely ball forward, and it's found Gayoro. Good build-up work this from Paris Saint-Germain. Corbin Albert. Claimed by Mary Earps.
You can see what Mary Earps is trying to do there. That quick throw out to Jay-Z, but hunted really well to just get her arm across Jay-Z to win that ball.
Claire Hunt struggled when she came on at the Leigh Sports Village last week. Less so this evening. On the ball now, gives it back to Kijanek. To Almeida. Finds the American Corbin Albert. Up to Karshawi. And again, it's that ball to Chawinga, who must be offside. Flag goes up, just as I say it.
It's a little bit too easy for PSG to look for those passes. The press isn't on there. I think Jay-Z is really trying to press, but the distances need to be worked on as well for United, getting a bit closer to the ball.
Jay-Z does turn this time, but Almeida does really well to get a toe on it and finds Gayoro. That time out to the left-hand side. Can't find the connection with Chawinga. It is a big pitch at the Parc des Princes. Wide. Plenty of room to play. Paris Saint-Germain obviously used to playing here and at the Stade Jean-Bouin. So we're more used to the dimensions than Manchester United. Leigh Sports Village is not necessarily the widest pitch in the world.
And United are working really hard to try and keep possession, but in those wrong areas. They're really deep there, and there's a poor pass by Millar, giving that ball away when they've worked so hard to gain that possession back.
Open field to Grunen. Oh, loose touch from Grunen. Maybe Malard has the opportunity, just couldn't cover the ground. Forward it comes, Chawinga. Won by Blundell. Toon going to give this back to Leah Galton. Now a chance for Manchester United. Looks to get it across. It was the right decision to try and pull it back from Leah Galton. Couldn't complete the pass, but does get the corner. Yeah, it was the right decision. She looked up, she saw Malard coming into that box, but just couldn't get it through the two PSG defenders. I think it was Hunt, wasn't it, who intercepted that. But really good bit of injection of pace by Leah Galton, who does look, you know, a good. She started the game well, as she did in that first leg last week as well. I think she started the game really well. Well, this is the preferred side for Katie Zellum. Seen a score from these corners. Going to put this underneath the crossbar. Punched away by Kidgenet. Jade Riviere can't quite get there against Chawinga. Chawinga's going to look for the early ball across. Just puts too much on it. That's going to allow Manchester United to get back into position, and Blundell does really well to get across and put the ball out of play. Yeah, and I think you noticed, like you referenced before, Liam, how wide the pitch is there. It was a wayward pass by Chawinga, but Baltimore really worked hard to try and keep that in, and Blundell tracked her really well. McGee. Gayoro back to Baltimore. Riviere. Clearing header finds only Karshawi. Chawinga lurking. It's a good tackle from Jade Riviere. Needed to get there. But Chawinga showing why she caused Manchester United so many problems in the first leg of this one. Almost catching Manchester United out again. Yeah, as soon as that ball goes back to Karshawi or whoever on that left-hand side, Chawinga turns and tries to get on the back shoulder of Riviere. And that's difficult for anybody, but she did well then to get a foot on the end of that. Comes the ball. Dangerous one, headed away by Millie Turner. Tabitha Chawinga, the one we're talking about, she's from Malawi. She's actually in on loan at Paris Saint-Germain from a university side in China, in the Wuhan province. Not a bad loan signing for Paris Saint-Germain. Yeah, not bad at all. And if that loan doesn't become permanent, I'm sure somebody else will snap her up. Gayoro. Looks for the 1-2, gets there as well. Pulled back across, brilliant defending from Millie Turner. Toon can't find the pass though, and Manchester United putting themselves under pressure here. Yeah, it's looking a little bit just desperate at times, last ditch, doing everything they can to try and defend the ball, and then when United do intercept it, they can't get it to a United player, and it just then recycles and comes back at them. McGee finds the ball to Grunen. Grunen up against Turner. Great tackle from Millie Turner, just slows Jackie Grunen down. McGee back to Grunen. Galton tries to intercept, but it's Gayoro that come away. Manchester United not quite with that same snap to the pressure of the ball that they had in the opening 15 minutes or so. Gayoro floats one in, dangerous ball. Header goes up, roof of the net. I'm so surprised Gayoro hasn't dribbled in there. She had so much space in front. You can see here on the replay, look at all that space she's got. She decides to go with a driven cross, and I think that's a real let-off for United there. She had so much space, and I think you're right, over the last 2 or 3 minutes, I think United have looked a little bit tired. They did have a really difficult game on at the weekend where they tried everything to try and get that winner, and an away leg as well.
sometimes you need to get it out of your legs, and hopefully they can do that.
About 10 minutes till half-time. Lika Martins, the difference between these two at the moment. 2-1 on aggregate, 1-0 on the night. Turner gives the ball away. Jay-Z having to battle to get it back, and it's just not a great ball into Jay-Z from Millie Turner. Just didn't look like it had enough on it.
Oh, and it's too straight as well, Liam. So it leaves JC. It's hard for her there. If she's square on, she's struggling to do anything with it. It's not a ball that you want to be playing in there.
Baltimore ready on the free kick. Manchester United defending deep again. Paris Saint-Germain fans bouncing away in the background. Baltimore. It's a good ball into the penalty area, just misses its intended target. Lets Manchester United off the hook.
And considering how much possession PSG have had, they haven't had as many threats on Mary Earp's goal as they did in that first half in the home leg for Manchester United.
Loose from Ella Toone, but she manages to complete the pass the second time of asking. Just a little bit sloppy in possession, Manchester United. Letitia needs somebody to show. Eventually gets it in Jade Riviere. Hook round the corner by Malard. Makes another tackle. Malard to Toone. Back to Malard. Toone. Zalem relieves the pressure. Gets it out to Nalsund. Going to get the cross in too. Headed away by De Almeida. Always had a play for a Manchester United throw, but that's better from Mark Skinner's side. Yeah,
it is better than in this section, moving the ball quicker, and they've got more bodies that are able to be there to be able to create that space.
Nalsund loses out. 3 Paris Saint-Germain players closing down on that ball, hunting impacts. Sandy Baltimore up against Blundell. Blundell does well to get an arm across and slow her down.
Really good defending by Blundell, like you say, gets her arm across, pauses, Baltimore has to go back.
Karshawi has all the time in the world, though, to get this cross in and skims the roof of the net.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about before. Just at times we can see there, look, Narsland is by far the nearest player. She's got to be busting a gut to get across there to put some pressure on Karshawi.
Paris Saint-Germain very good at overloading Manchester United in those situations. Lovely 1-2 though, sets Millie Turner away. Malard finds Toone. Toone finds Nalsund. Nalsund tries to find Jade Riviere. Needed the overlap really. Never came. Got the underlapping run, and percentage-wise that was always benefiting Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah, and at times United are playing these 2-yard passes, and I don't really see why you would do that. You need to obviously create that space, move away from each other, open up the pitch.
Letitia tries that crossfield ball. Groenen gets to the rebound. Malard picks this up. Or goes past one. Malard's going to have a strike from distance, and it was always bending away from goal just for a moment as it left her foot. It was well struck, and I wondered where it might be going, but the shape of the shot carrying it away from Kijanek's goal.
Yeah, it was good strength and good skill by Malard. You know, when we've seen this in her previous games, how good she is with the ball at her feet, and I'm not surprised that she's gone from a long-range effort, and why not? But unfortunately, it was never on target. That was always veering away from goal.
Better from Jade Riviere, just not allowing Chawinga to settle and get control. Malard runs away from 3. Still going here, Melvin Malard. Then gets pulled back. That will be a free kick to Manchester United. Great play from the winger.
Good, yeah, we've seen that strength before, and she rolled her player. She had a couple of United players close to her, but like I said before, too close. So she didn't play that ball. She needed to do it herself to try and create that space, and won the free kick. Great play by Millar.
Letitia and Zellum standing over this one. Can't imagine it'll be anybody but Katie Zellum. In fact, it looks like it's going to be Maya Letitia. Ball into the penalty area, headed away. Comes out to Blundell. Nilsson. Just a bit of a heavy first touch, and it allowed Baltimore to nip in and steal the ball away. Well done from Leah Galton to close down Claire Hunt.
Yeah, she had a heavy touch, but it wasn't a particularly easy ball from Blundell. Driven into her on a half volley.
So many options on the bench for Paris Saint-Germain. Dangerous options too, including Marie-Antoinette Katoto, their top scorer. Something ridiculous like 130 goals in 160 games. It's absolutely astonishing. Manchester United unable to find the pockets of space that they're so used to operating in the WSL. Paris Saint-Germain doing a very good job of covering the ground. Hunt comes across to Almeida. And now Karshawi. Chawinga looking to roll and turn Riviere. Does really well. And now attacking the penalty area. Lovely bit of skill from Chawinga. Jade Riviere dives in, doesn't make contact. Chawinga lifts one into the box. Just about smuggled clear by Manchester United. Galton turns the ball round really well. And a heavy pass from Hannah Blundell. Can't get it back to Galton.
And it's very much hard work, recovering, trying to get into position, win possession back. And then it's just a poorly placed pass. And PSG are able to pick up the ball, and they just have lots of numbers around the ball. They seem to just wave of attack that hopefully United can get through.
Given away, Jay-Z. Jay-Z has Toon. Toon with the opportunity. Pulls a shot. Well, Ella Toon in that position, you would have put your house on it, wouldn't you? But as she goes to make contact, she just drags it wide. An opportunity definitely for Manchester United goes begging.
Yeah, really good drive by JC, and it was a nicely weighted pass into Toon. And like you say, Liam, you would expect, and you know, we've seen it time and time again from Ella Toon, to be able to at least get that on target. And I'm not too sure what she was thinking. I think she was in two minds to, was it a shot come pass? I'm not entirely sure, but I think the occasion got the better of her there.
Meanwhile, we've got a bit of a problem for Elisa de Almeida. Looks like a right knee issue by the looks of things. And I think it's from the block that she tries to put in on Ella Toon. That is going to give Mark Skinner and Claire Healy the opportunity to have a bit of a conversation with this side.
Yeah, and he's straight away talking to Riviere, and I think whoever you put in that right-back position is going to have a tough time against Chawinga. The important thing is to not get too tight, because what she's trying to do is roll you or get on your back shoulder and beat you in that foot race. So if you give her just a yard or two in front of you so you can see her and then try and get a tackle in, which I know it's easy to say than do, but she's a tough, a tricky customer to defend against.
Wonder whether Shelley-Ann Fraser-Price is available on an emergency loan. Might just be quick enough. It's that opportunity for Ella Toon again, and as she slides this through, Toon takes it on the instep of her right foot. Normally, you would see Ella put her laces through that one. See what happened to De Almeida in this as well, as she comes back here, slides in, and maybe just gets that knee caught underneath her.
Yeah, and if on reflection, when we've just seen that replay, De Almeida, it's really good defending, because she gives the ball away and comes in central, so Gise isn't on a 1v1 with Hunt, and then gets across to try and put Toon off. So I think it's really good defending.
Karshawi attacking down the left-hand side. That is clumsy from Melvin Malard. Referee thinks not and has allowed play to continue. Karshawi, absolutely apoplectic. And Sakina Karshawi, I've got to say, I was with you on that one. Thought that was a free kick Paris Saint-Germain's way. Manchester United get the benefit of the doubt. Not that I'm complaining. Tissier, Zalem. Zalem has options now. Comes out to Blundell. That's not brilliant out to Hannah Blundell. Was stretching for it. There's a Manchester United throw.
And that, we've seen elements where when United do have possession, and again it was Millie Turner stepping into midfield with the ball, the pitch opens up and United get high and wide, but then it's just the quality of the pass which lets the United team down. Strong work from Jay-Z.
Nelson floats this into the box, but it's behind the run of Ella Toon. Manchester United just struggling to get to grips with this one, aren't they? Very similar in some regards to the first half at the Leigh Sports Village, where Manchester United probably struggled against a Paris Saint-Germain side that were full of energy. United did come back into it in the second half, and that's a potential with 30 seconds to play of the 2 minutes added on at the end of the first half. Yeah, and I think that'll be important in the team talk at half-time. They weathered that storm in the first half last week, and I think they got through a lot more clear-cut chances as well last week, PSG. So United are still massively in this tie. Letitia. We approach half-time. Maybe Manchester United have one more opportunity. Ella Toon, has she drifted offside? No, says the official on that far side. Half-time whistle goes, and it's Lika Martins who is the difference between these two sides, despite Ella Toon's late opportunity to make it one apiece. Paris Saint-Germain causing Manchester United trouble down the left-hand side with Tabitha Chawinga, and Martins finishing off to make it half-time score of 1-0 Paris Saint-Germain. We'll be back with the analysis after the break.
What would it feel like to have over 1 billion United fans in Old Trafford all at once?
Over 1 billion.
Crazy.
The noise.
Shouting your name, cheering you on.
The whole place erupts.
Yes! Boy! Over 1 billion people at Old Trafford. Why don't we try it, eh?
What does it mean to be a United member? It means family, which sometimes means disagreeing on the starting 11, or who's the best player, or the best shirt, or the most iconic number 7. It also means witnessing greatness at the theatre where our dreams are lived. From Take Me Home to 20 Times, some sing from the terraces, others celebrate from their sofas. And together, we are united. In one love, blood and triumph. Wherever we go, we'll find our own. We always show our support. That's what it means to be a United member.
We want you to join us.
Be part of the United family. Become an official member today.
To us, United is life.
I love my club and I'm proud to give something back.
We support the men's team, the women's team, the youth teams. We support the badge.
Little girls get told stories of dragons and castles, but not this one. She got taught about the Busby Babes.
Red News United fancy.
I've always wanted to be part of Manchester United.
The only club of its kind in the world.
Without Mudsup, Sean wouldn't be at this point.
The supporters club gives me a sense of belonging.
It's being part of the community. If you're a fan of United, we're a fan of you.
It's a way of life.
If you can't
see it, how can you want to be it?
The ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, whatever happens, I'm United till I die.
Welcome back. So United trailing at the break by 1-0, but there have been a couple of chances for them to score. Let's hope the game mirrors the last game between the two sides when PSG were dominant in that first half, but we were much stronger in the second, and we'll need that, Siobhan, after the half-time break, because PSG were the better team, weren't they? So we'll need to improve to get a result in this one.
They were the better team, but United started a lot better in this away leg than they did in the first leg. I think the first half of the first leg, PSG were so dominant, so many clear-cut opportunities, but we did really well to get in at 0-0. However, now, grown into the game a lot more, we're a lot more confident, a lot more front-footed. I think Jay-Z was a huge difference maker in that, being so positive and proactive, but are going in a goal down, and there have been a few more opportunities for PSG.
Yeah, there certainly has. We're going to have a look at the best of the action from that first half then. And despite United's very positive, very bright start, it was the French side who carved out the first chance of the game. And we all know Chewinga is an absolute menace up front with her pace and power. However, she couldn't finish that chance there. And thankfully, Laetitia gets back to clear off the line. But that's a big moment.
It really is. It's a huge let-off. It's a really simple, long, direct ball. And Chewinga was quite a distance behind. She had ground to make up. As you said, she is absolutely rapid, isn't she? Just didn't have the quality, thankfully, for Mary and for the rest of the United team to put that ball away. A little bit more power on that strike, and it's in the back of the net. Yeah,
I asked you about Mary's position in there. She was sort of... Was she far enough forward? Should she have stayed back? But it's difficult when the forward's got that much pace, isn't it, to decide where you need to be?
Yeah, I think sometimes when you're stuck in that middle position, if you know that the forward has so much pace, if you're not definitely in a position where you know, I'm 110% going to win this, drop off, make it difficult for them, don't commit yourself, make them make a decision. Yeah. We've seen that she's not the best when she's got decisions to make. She hasn't always made good decisions, but we know that she's quick and she's able to get in behind. So if you make it easier for her by making the decision for her, sometimes it might make it a bit more difficult for yourself. Yeah. But we got away with it and it stayed 0-0.
Yeah, we certainly did, but PSG did take the lead. And it was a familiar source, the threat, because Karshawi involved. She has been excellent. Quite rightly, you picked her out before, Siobhan. She's such a good player. So too Chewinga, who latches on to Karshawi's pass. The shot saved by Mary Earps, but there's Martins to smash in the rebound.
Again, yeah, Karshawi with a brilliant ball down the line, but it's the pace from Chewinga that's phenomenal. Jade Riviere is not slow by any means, but she completely outpaces her. The stop by Mary, and then Lika Martins is completely unmarked coming in at the back post. You've got to ask, where is the covering defenders? Where are the players that are coming in? She manages to open up the goal, get herself so much space to be able to pick which side she wants to go and just rifles it into the back of the net. Yeah. A really frustrating goal from Manchester United's perspective to concede.
Yeah, you wonder whether midfield is helping out there. There's a lot of space in between the defence and the midfield.
Yeah, but it is hard when Chewinga is that quick. The pace will stretch the game, so it's something you need to be aware of. It's something that's in the tactics, in the planning, I'm sure, but it has to be implemented to perfection.
Yeah, it really does. So that was 1-0 PSG. United's chances, there were a few, hopefully more in that second half, but Mala with 39 minutes on the clock. This was as half-time approached when we created a couple of chances. This, a speculative shot from distance.
Yeah, I'm sure PSG will be happy to limit opportunities to shots from that kind of distance. They'll be comfortable that their goalkeeper has the ability to make those kind of saves. And I think if United are going to get back into this game, if we're going to get something from it, got to be able to create a little bit more, got to get more bodies up the pitch and combine and support and link up play instead of just having those kind of snapshots from those kind of distances. Yeah,
it's going to have to be really special to score from there. We know Ella Toon can score from that kind of distance, seen it many times before. The chance she did have near the end of the half was much closer, and she should have done better, really. United picked the ball up. JC...
Doesn't she? She's a very technical player, and as you said, normally would just rifle that in. Kind of whether she got caught between playing it, side-footing it, or absolutely like smashing it into the back of the net. Just didn't have the conviction, as you said, to cause any problems for PSG. But Jay-Z in the build-up was brilliant, and I think it was the right pass to lay it off there to Ella Toone. But I think at times in the build-up of other moments during that first half, I'd like to see her being a little bit more greedy. I'd like to see her, when it opens up for her, take that shot. She's got the ability.
She has been our best player, hasn't she, Jay-Z? She's worked tirelessly up front there. She's tracking back. She's a threat going forward. You quite rightly picked out her pace and her power. She's so good at holding the ball up. It was a real eye-catching display.
Yeah, definitely, and the ability to have this shot on the turn, I think that was one of the best moments for United, and it's a snapshot, but it's a snapshot with quality. It's the quick footwork and the turn and the shooting when the ball's still behind her. She's got that ability to change a game so quickly, but I think she just needs a little bit more support up alongside her. A lot of it she's had to do quite isolated, or when she's bringing people into the game, she's had to start a lot deeper, so she's not high enough to necessarily impact it. But we've seen here she's been the best player for Manchester United by far. Her strength, her ability to move the type of ball that she's playing. But that one there, that's my prime example. Can she get the shot away there? She opened it up, she played the ball. Yes, it's selfless play, but I'd like to see her there just whip one with her right foot. She's got the ability to finish from there.
Yeah, she's been excellent, and there's a real optimism here that she can do something in the second half to get us on terms and go on and win the game. Right, we're going to take a quick break and continue the build at the second half after.
I learnt about the Busby Babes because of my mum. I learnt a lot while I was in Munich as well about the Busby Babes and how much it means to so many people. And I think that was another reason that it felt so emotional while we were there, because I understood how many people respected them and went to visit the memorial each year.
We'll never die, we'll never die, we'll never die, we'll never die. We'll keep the red flag flying high.
Over 500 one-of-a-kind independent hotels here and around the world. Discover more with Marriott Bonvoy.
Years after United last played a top-flight game here, the Reds return to Blackpool. Adam is going to take the corner kick. In it comes, free header! What a moment for Craig Cathcart. He comes back to haunt Manchester United. Flicked on dangerously, it is two. Manchester United are going to have to do something special to get out of this situation, because DJ Campbell has headed home. Here's Nanny. Keep going, Nanny. Fletcher onside. United are back in it. It's Dimitar Berbatov, and they've got 20 minutes to rescue this situation. Can United do it, Paddy? They've got more than 15 minutes. Yes, of course they can. Giggs. Oh, great ball, Chicharito's in, Chicharito! Remarkable, quite remarkable! They've done it again! 2 goals in 2 minutes, you never know, they might just go on and win it. On his side, Berbatov, Chicharito's desperate for it, Berbatov going on his own, Berbatov! One of the all-time great comebacks, this is a classic. United were dead and buried, and 3 minutes from time, the comeback of comebacks is complete. 3-2.
Welcome back. So United trailing PSG 1-0 at the break. Can we go on and equalise and go on and win this game? Remember, it could go all the way, could be extra time, could be penalties. Let's hope United do it in 90. How do you see the second half developing, and what changes might Mark's going to make?
I think for me, I'd like to see Lucia Garcia come in. I think she's had a fantastic start to the season. She's linked up really well with Jay-Z as well. Going forward, I think she's a real talent and a handful. You've obviously got Rachel Williams there that Mark has relied on time and time again to get late winners. And for me, Mia Zauer as well is a real talent in that midfield, in that number 10 type area, that when you need a little bit of creativity, you need a little bit of link from back to front, she can potentially create something in there for you.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. Players are out there now, so we'll hand back to Lindsay and Liam for second half commentary.
Thanks, Solly. Yes, welcome back. The Parc des Princes and Katie Zellum reading the riot act, wanting a bit more from her players, and you can understand why. So Zellum, final word to Jay-Z, and you heard the guys in the studio saying just how good they thought Jay-Z had been, maybe wanting her to be a little bit more selfish, Lindsay Johnson.
Yeah, we've seen it in the game last week as well, but I think tonight, particularly that last chance with Ella Toone, that was definitely the right ball into Ella Toone. Obviously Ella didn't really get a good connection with that, but I think Jay-Z, the PSG defenders are worried about her, and if she just get that opportunity, you know, she's a bright spark for United.
So no changes of personnel at the half-time interval. Zellum looks for an early ball forward. Gayoro turning away from Zellum. Nalsund fires one into the feet of Mallard, who does pretty well to get any kind of control on it. Unfortunately, falls back to PSG. Turner. Letitia. Turner again through the centre circle. Manchester United with plenty committed forward here. Riviere with a neat touch. Jay-Z going to try and go around the outside of Corbin Albert. Gets the byline, pulls it back. Really dangerous! Manchester United with a blistering start to the second half.
What a fantastic goal, and who involved? Jay-Z down that right-hand side. Does really well, nice, strong, just palms off Karshawi with a left hand and gets a really good driven across into the box on the floor, and it opens up for Narsens, who's in acres of space, and she does what she needs to do and gets it and fires it into the back of the net. Fantastic from United.
Lisa Nalsson opens her account. Manchester United are on terms. That is brilliant. Wonderfully timed run. Lovely bit of strength from Jay-Z. Holds off the advances of Karshawi. And then Lisa Nalsson arriving, right place, right time, back of the net.
Yeah, and that goal as well. I know she was in lots of space, Narsland, but she still had to make it into the back of the net, and she lifts it into the roof of the net. Fantastic finish, great start. Whatever did Mark Skinner say to them at half-time?
Go out and get an early goal. Job one done. Deal with Chewinga will be second job, and here she comes again. Skips away from both, pulls it back. Oh, dearie me, Manchester United have conceded inside 60 seconds. And it's Chewinga's run down the left-hand side. Pulled back into the middle, not dealt with by Manchester United. And Paris Saint-Germain hit right back.
And, you know, that old saying, you're most vulnerable when you've scored a goal, and that's echoed there. Really disappointing defending by United. And I know Chewinga is fast, she's powerful. She gets past Riviere, but here, Letitia knows better. Don't dive in there. And just that runner, Millie Turner, just lets Martins get in front of her. And it's an easy goal, you have to say it, Liam, an easy goal for PSG to retake the lead so quickly after United scored a fantastic goal.
I think Mark Skinner will take a look at that and say too many individual errors from Manchester United players to allow it to happen. Well, they'd started so well. They now need to go and find themselves a couple more. Jay-Z can't get forward. De Almeida goes back to Kirchner, launched away. It's Chewinga again, looking to work through the middle. Offside flag is up.
And I think as well, scoring that goal early on, brilliant, fantastic, just what you want. But that rush of blood that goes to your head, Laetitia doesn't normally dive in and did something that she wouldn't normally do. Millie Turner always gets across the defender. In these big games, that's what happens. It's split decisions that have a massive impact on the outcome of the game.
And so rare you see anything go through Mary Earps the way that one did too. Normally really strong in those positions, Mary. As I say, individual errors have led to conceding less than 60 seconds after they'd got themselves back on parity. Riviere. Jay-Z. Not sure she gets the shout until it's too late. Does pretty well to retain possession. Nalsund.
And hopefully that goal for Narsland really helps her confidence, because I do think she's had a quiet first half, and the goal will definitely help her confidence. Maybe get on the ball a little bit more.
Blundell finds Toon. Toon's going to look for Galton. Galton with the great run into the penalty area. Chance here for Manchester United. Pull back. Shot from Blundell. Turned away by Kirchner.
What a fantastic ball by Leah Galton. You think she's going to go across the goal, but she pulls it back to Hannah Blundell. And nearly, it's just a fantastic save by Kirchner in goal. A fantastic pullback by Leah Galton. Everyone thinks she's going to try and whip it in that 6-yard box.
You can see why Katarzyna Kirchner is the number one. Manchester United lose out. Needed to be a last-ditch tackle from Maya Laetitia with Chewinga lurking. Don't make that one, and Chewinga's away again, so Maya Laetitia makes the tackle, calms everything down.
Yeah, it was better by Maya Laetitia. She knew she had to make it. She made that, and obviously got some territory as well further down the pitch, which is important.
Mala. Should be a Manchester United. It's a lovely pullback. Blundell makes really good connection with it as well. Top draw save from the Polish keeper. Turner, always favourite to win that foot race, puts the ball out of play.
Yeah, better defending, just giving themselves some space to run onto that. Millie was always closest to win that ball.
Paris Saint-Germain with their first spell of sustained possession in this second half. Jay-Z judged to have fouled Hunt on the way through, and you can see what the Brazilian thinks of that. You can also see what Claire Hunt thinks of that too.
Yeah, she's surprised, because it looks like she's come in for it and just tripped on Jay-Z rather than, Jay-Z doing anything untoward.
Almeida, unsure whether she was going to be able to come back out in the second half, but looks none the worse for wear. So out it goes to Hunt, who moves it on. Gayoro up against Blundell.
Thought it was a United.
Yeah, the pair of us have just looked at each other in the commentary box and questioned whether the world's still spinning on its axis the right way. That was unbelievable. Millie Turner against Chawinga. Chawinga goes flying. The referee just waves her back to her feet. Galton, play this against Gayoro. It's how to play. A Manchester United throw.
And United have started this. Oh, that's you know, that it's just poor, isn't it? Again, sort of the quality on the ball at times. It's just lacking at times and putting United back under pressure.
To follow. It's exactly what Small
stays on her feet, and maybe, well, I think Manchester United have got a little bit fortunate. I think there's an initial contact with Chawinga from Millie Turner, and Chawinga staying on her feet may have just saved her. I'll need to see the replay back to be certain, but it was an opportunity.
Yeah, what I was going to say before, it's important that United, they've started, I know they've conceded a goal, but they've started the second half really brightly, got the goal, high pressure, trying to move the ball quicker. They need to keep with that momentum and that tempo.
Letitia. Toon wants an option, hasn't got one in that direction. Has to come back to Letitia. Letitia is trying to thread the eye of a needle. Chawinga away, offside, surely offside. No flag, eventually flag. Wow. Just for a moment, I'd started to get a little bit concerned.
And that play, it was Ella Toon, you could see she wants to move the ball quickly. She's looking for options in front, because she has to slow that ball right down.
Allard working hard. Allard does well again. Finds Shazy. Shazy just turns away from Corbin Albert. Shazy into the penalty area. Shazy with the opportunity, beaten away. Manchester United are creating opportunities.
They are. They look dangerous, and they did in the first half going forward. And Jay-Z, obviously Mallard able to win it in the air, but Jay-Z just looks so threatening going forward, trying to get it onto a left foot, but that shot just too close. It's too straight to Kijanek in goal.
Toon loses out, helped out by Maya Letitia. Nalson takes over. Pass from Nalson's not great, so Toon has to step in. Toon loses out again and just can't get the ball to stick, Manchester United, and Chawinga now has a run at Maya Letitia. Letitia just backs off and just makes sure that Chawinga can never get that head of steam up.
Yeah, good defending. Letitia, just like you say, jockeying, making sure she's watching Chawinga and giving that time for the United defenders to get back and double up.
Karshawi gets it back. Nelson steps in. Karshawi bounces off her, cuts across Katie Zellum and gets it out to the right-hand side. Baltimore into the penalty area. Dangerous run. What a goal. What an absolutely absurd finish from Sandy Baltimore. Incredible. And Paris Saint-Germain are in the driving seat. Manchester United are struggling, trailing 4-2 on the night, 3-1 on the night, 4-2 on aggregate. An unreal finish from Sandy Baltimore.
Yeah, this run on this right-hand side just gets across Hannah Blundell and chips it. At first I thought she was going for the cross, and I thought it went behind the goal at first, but just chips it, a delicate chip over Mary Earps. And I think both players are going to be disappointed. Hannah Blundell not getting across her player, trying to prevent that shot. And then Mary Earps, I just don't think she's expecting that near post, and it goes into a near post, just a chip into the back of the net.
I'm not sure Mary Earps can do anything about that. I think it brushes the underside of the crossbar as it goes in. It's over Mary Earps by a distance. Well, after such a bright start to the second half, Manchester United are now hoping for something of a miracle. 2 goals to even it up, 3 goals if they're going to go on and win it. Maybe Nalsund plays this into Galton. Galton swings a shot in, should go out for a Manchester United corner. It is.
Yeah, it's good play, just winning it back, Millard, and then a really good ball from Narsel, an excellent run from Galton on the back shoulder of the defender, wins herself a corner for a team. Still plenty of time, isn't there, Liam, for United to, they can get a goal, make a real go of it. They've got nothing to lose. They've got to leave everything on the pitch tonight.
Starts right now with this corner. Malal makes the best of a bad situation and then loses out. Well, Katie Zellem's delivery, which is normally so good, lets her down on that occasion.
It would have been the right choice if Baltimore wasn't there, and you know, it was too close. Baltimore was able to close Mallard down and losing good possession.
Chawinga. Riviere can only play it into Martins. Karshowi runs across Grunin. McGee wants someone to show. Galton gets back to her. Well, they feel like they're all of a sudden in control, Paris Saint-Germain. Manchester United somewhat chasing shadows. As the ball in is dealt with by Riviere. And a pull back from Grace Gayoro. Jade Riviere wins the free kick.
Yeah, just now with that 2-goal cushion for PSG, they can afford to keep possession of the ball and just look for that counter with the threatening players of Chawinga, Baltimore, Gayora being able to add to that front three as well.
Letitia, Jay-Z. Jay-Z's found a bit of space, wriggled her way through. Stops, turns, going to take the shot on, bounces in front of Kidjanek. Attempted the shot from the edge of the penalty area, was always going to be difficult to score from that range.
She was looking for options, and it kind of at this point the United players had stopped. There was one run from Elatoon who was going to look for seconds on the shot, but I think that was her only option in the end. JC.
One manager in Jocelyn Précheur will be delighted with the situation. On the opposite bench, I can't imagine Mark Skinner's feeling the same at the moment.
No, he'll be disappointed because that start to the second half was fantastic, and getting that really well worked goal early on, but to concede immediately after that goal, I think that was a real killer blow.
Karshowi can't keep that one in. Letitia. It's a good run from Leah Galton. Needed an option to pull that back to. Jay-Z's done brilliantly. Jay-Z looks to get it across, deflects away, it's going to be a corner.
Yeah, well worked. You just don't think she's got anywhere to go, Jay-Z, and she's able to just roll and turn and use her body really well.
Short corner taken, floated in by Katie Zellem. Jay Riviere gives it back to Toon. Toon finds Zellem. Zellem crosses, chance at the back post, just nicked away by Legui. I don't know how Legui got ahead to it, but somehow she takes it away from 2 Manchester United players waiting for it.
Yeah, and you could just see it, couldn't you, Liam? I thought it was going to get to Leah Galton on that far post for a free header or a free shot on goal, but like you say, Legui just popped up from nowhere.
Mallard was also in the queue for that one. Here comes the delivery from Katie Zellum. Dangerous ball, headed away by Gayoro. There's a collision in the penalty area. Referee says it's Manchester United's fault, and therefore free kick to Paris Saint-Germain. Grace Gayoro looking a little distressed. Slightly winded, or potential...
She's holding her nose, possibly, or the bridge of her nose. Let's see here. I don't know. The only thing what happened is it was her head in the ball and maybe just mistimed her head.
Manchester United have looked dangerous in parts in this second half. They haven't managed to convert more than one of those opportunities, though, and right now that's the difference between the two sides, Lindsay.
Yeah, they have. They've looked really dangerous, particularly on this right-hand side with Jay-Z. But like you say, they've not converted those chances. That chance from Hannah Blundell with Kidgenet making a fantastic save. If that had gone in. Changes.
First will be Melvin Mallard that makes way. Will be replaced by Lucia Garcia. The second substitution will see the introduction of the Japan international, Hinata Miyazawa. Miyazawa is going to replace Lisa Nalsund, who scored that goal for Manchester United right at the start of this second half to give them hope before that was cruelly snatched away by a quick-fire double from the home side.
Yeah, I was just thinking, when will be the introduction of the subs and who would it be? I thought Garcia would definitely come on. Real hunger to attack on this right-hand side. It's looked dangerous this season, started the season well. And Miyazawa, we know she can be creative in midfield, so we really need to see something tonight.
Two substitutes looking to combine there, but the header from Garcia couldn't be collected by Hinata Miyazawa. Karshawi goes back to the keeper, Kitchenet. Claire Hunt through Martins. Baltimore, Martins. McGee on the stretch. Jay-Z looking to get hold of that ball. Thinks she's had it poked out from underneath her, but the assistant on that far side says no. McGee will take her time, as is her prerogative. 3-1 up. Not going to rush Paris Saint-Germain into anything. Given away, though. That's through to Leah Galton. Galton's going to try and get to the byline. Looks to pull it back. Dangerous ball, but D'Almeida, right place, right time. Riviere finds Garcia. Escapes the first tackle. Gets it back out to Riviere. Miyazawa chops it back to Garcia. Garcia just can't take the ball with her. Miyazawa makes the tackle on the edge of the box. Well, maybe Manchester United just going to caution to the wind here. And as I say that, Chawinga has acres of space to run into. Looks to get the cross away. Headed clear by Blundell.
Really good shape by United there. Recovered well. Had a clear back four. Good defending.
Garcia with the run. D'Almeida cuts across and nods the ball out of play. And maybe Lucia Garcia gives Manchester United the outball that they haven't had. Zellum to Toon. Toon struggling to find her radar this evening. Couldn't complete that pass. That's got to be offside. Flag goes up. Martins was 3 or 4 yards offside.
I think Leah Galton's had another really, really good game. I know we've got plenty of time left in it, but she's worked relentlessly in this game, defending, but she's been a real threat on the left-hand side, creating opportunities.
Turner, Toon, Galton,
Millie Turner really high as well, trying to make an impact.
Everybody's trying to turn Manchester United's fortune. Jay-Z, somehow ball sticks to her feet again, then goes down under the challenge. That is going to be a free kick. Super glue on the boot. I don't know what it is, but somehow Jay-Z is so hard to dispossess.
She's the queen of rolling a player, isn't she? There you can see one. She managed to keep the ball at her feet, like you say, super glue, and that was the best one of the two. Wins a really good free kick for her team just outside the area.
Well, now would be an excellent time for a Katie Zellum special. If Manchester United are going to find a way back into this one with 22 minutes to play, they need a goal back. Captain Zellum barking orders. Kijanek ready. Here comes Zellum, goes in for the near post, it's just wide. And you can hear the reaction from Lindsay Johnson because it was ridiculously close to sneaking in at that far post.
Yeah, I did think it was going in. It was a really well-worked free kick by Zellum.
Oh, it's a great save.
Yeah, it was going in bottom corner, wasn't it? And Kijanek able to stretch fully and just palm it around the post.
Zellum, back post. Turner gets something on it, finds Miyazawa. Blundell hoists it back into the penalty area. Karshawi can't get to the bouncing ball. Zellum can. Karshawi eventually doing just enough to launch the ball clear.
It's really good intent from United. There's still plenty of time left in this game, and they're really having some good, some good creative opportunities, but at times just again sloppy in the pass and giving the ball away. They're working so hard off the ball.
Jay-Z and Riviere linking up nicely down this right-hand side. Jay-Z just misses the vital touch to take it past Karshawi. Well, they've committed numbers forward here, Manchester United, and it's allowing them to keep the press on. Zellum. Dangerous ball in again, headed towards goal, it's in! Manchester United have got one back. No, they haven't. It's a push from Leah Galton. Free kick is given Paris Saint-Germain's way, and I don't know about you or whether it's my red-tinted glasses, but that feels very harsh.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Liam. I think it's a fantastic leap, well-timed from Leah Galton. We're just seeing this. There's nothing wrong with that. Our arms are down by the side of her body. You can see it here. That's a fantastic goal by Leah Galton. Nothing at all wrong with that goal.
You cannot be punished for a fingertip on the back of a defender. Claire Hunt's done pretty well to sort of bend over double when she feels the contact, and that's probably what's won it. Meanwhile, Kijanek is down and struggling.
Really hard done by United there, and it was a fantastic leap, well-timed header, and the accuracy, just a little flick by Leah Galton, and they deserve to have a goal back there. Really unlucky.
Well, I was going to say Lika Martin's unhappy about something. Kijanek is down and struggling. That's what Lika Martins is unhappy about. She looks like she's about to be removed from the fray for Ramona Bachmann. If the board hanging by the official side was anything to go by.
As well as it's possible. I mean, the keeper, hopefully she's going to be okay, but an extended break at this moment in time only serves PSG, because United have been in the ascendancy. They've got the momentum. They've looked really threatening going forward in these last 5, 6, 7 minutes.
Well, Lika Martins is removed, and I would imagine the thing that she's most cross about is that she was on the hat-trick. Opportunity for a Champions League hat-trick denied by Jocelyn Précheur.
And it's another threat for United to think about. Ramona Bachmann, very experienced. She's a goal threat. But I think United need to carry on. You can see, like you've mentioned it, Liam, they're thinking about throwing more players forward, playing that 3 at the back, causing problems, making PSG think about the runners on their shoulders. And I think that's really worked for them these last, part of the game.
Well, the Manchester United fans that are inside the Parc des Princes pretty convinced that nothing wrong with Katarzyna Kicianek, and that it was a tactical break almost for Paris Saint-Germain. Can't confirm or deny that, but what I can say is that she seems to be back up to full fitness and ready to go.
Yeah, really experienced side in the Champions League, PSG. Been to the quarterfinals a number of times, been to the final as well, so they know the dark arts.
Letitia gets this back to Mary Earps. Letitia, Jade Riviere. Bachmann can't get to that one. It's out of play, Manchester United throw. Just now need to re-find their rhythm, Manchester United. That's a good ball from Letitia. Galton does well to get something on it. Still not clear by Paris Saint-Germain. And Ella Toon is herring after this. Going to get there too. Now needs an option. Katie Zellum just not quite quick enough to make the ground ahead of Grace Gayoro. Chawinga's quick enough, but Millie Turner reads the game better than most, is what I would say. One of the best readers of a game of football. Millie Turner cuts across, deals with the situation.
Always looks so calm when she does it as well, Millie Turner.
Definitely get from the men's first team, you get Rio Ferdinand vibes out of Millie Turner. Just an incredible way of reading the game, never really finds themselves in trouble. Bit of a Rolls Royce really, pipe and slippers. De Almeida. Garcia chasing after this one. Gets there ahead of Karshawi. Zalem. Toon. Jay-Z. Garcia comes back through to Jay-Z. He's going to be put out of play. Going to be a corner.
That was just brilliant from Jay-Z. Just stand still and wait for the other PSG player to come across, and then just splits the ball between the two of them so nonchalant, and then runs on the back shoulder to win a corner.
Galton in there again. Here comes the ball. It's Turner with the header. Just a looper rather than a bullet, and it allowed Kicianek to get underneath it.
Yeah, they're definitely targeting that back post, United, on that corner. Millie Turner's had so much success from there, but that one just an easy one for Kicianek to gather.
Baltimore being hustled and harried by Blundell. Comes away with it though, Baltimore. Outrageous finish from her for Paris Saint-Germain's third. Hunt. McGee comes back in field to Groenen. Oh, Corbin Albert's giving it away. Lucia Garcia has Jay-Z with her. Going to poke this through. Jay-Z with the opportunity. Can she get it away? Cleared by Paris Saint-Germain. And Manchester United with another opportunity falling by the wayside.
Great pressure from Manchester United. And that Garcia was able to get onto that ball there, but I just think she held on to it a fraction too long, and the ball was played just behind JC, and she had to come back inside and allowed the PSG defenders just to recover, and it was, you know, no room to take that shot on.
Well, had JC on the inside almost immediately. Lucia Garcia. 2 options, go for it yourself or play them in, get caught between those 2 options, and unfortunately that's what happens. Hannah Blundell takes no chances here, pokes it out of play.
And the positive thing for United is they've created plenty of opportunities, particularly in this second half. So if you've been hypercritical, they should have put some of those chances away, but they are creating opportunities.
It's Manchester United, anything can happen, and if it is going to happen, then it normally happens late. Can they find a way to get themselves back into it?
Sorry, Liam.
Go on, I was just... Carry on.
This has been better for Mela to see in the second half, getting the ball, driving out into that space, and just having that intent has really been putting United on that front foot.
Well, we were both fighting over exactly the same thing, if it makes you feel any better. Riviere just keeps it in play. Again, it's just Paris Saint-Germain covering the space so well, marking the players so well, that Maya Letitia gets herself in a really good position and then can't find the next ball.
Yeah, that high press at times. PSG, they know they've got that 2-goal cushion, so they just need to try and get to the end of this game.
Blundell. Galton. Well, looked like there was a potential for a foul in there, but the referee hasn't given it, given the corner instead.
Yeah, I'm with you. I did think it might have been a foul, but
I think De Almeida just preventing Manchester United from getting hold of the ball. Referee now demanding to speak to Elisa De Almeida. Dark arts. Manchester United corner. Katie Zellum ready and waiting. Jackie Grennan and Leah Galton having an altercation. Those two all know each other pretty well. Always looked like it was going to be taken short, and it was read by Paris Saint-Germain. Katie Zellum was definitely off a short run-up. You could see it, couldn't you? And so could the Paris Saint-Germain defenders. Just going to have a hold up here. Substitutions happening for Manchester United. Jade Riviere is making way, and Rachel Williams onto the field. How many big goals has Rachel Williams scored for this football club? Wouldn't it be incredible if she had a couple more big goals up her sleeve for this football club?
Fantastic, and you know, she brings so much energy when she's on the pitch and off the pitch, that hopefully that can buoy the team in the last 10-15 minutes of this game.
Instructions being given to both sets of players. Claire Healy with the clipboard. Mary Earps getting the treatment. Maybe, just maybe, taking a leaf out of Katarzyna Kidjanek's book.
Yeah, hopefully there's no real serious injury for Mary Earps. Coincide with the substitution and a new formation, I would imagine. 3 at the back.
some manipulation on that right calf.
She hasn't had lots to do, Mary Earps, in this game. I know United have conceded 3 goals, but her goal hasn't been peppered or, you know, under lots of shots on goal. It shows the fine margins in a Champions League game when you're playing the likes of PSG, who we'd have to say is one of the big hitters in Europe. Just unfortunate that United have drawn them so early on.
That being said, social media, as you can imagine, is ablaze, and everybody's saying the same thing, that the Leah Galton goal should never be disallowed in a million years. People on social media calling that decision disgraceful.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely, we've been able to see that replay, and nothing wrong with the goal, and it just shouts that VAR is needed in these situations, because we know sometimes refs get it wrong, and she definitely got that wrong tonight.
Referee is in the way of Ella Toon. Then the referee doesn't stop play. Well, that's a little bit odd. The referee has clearly got in the way and blocked Ella Toon off from reaching that ball. Turn from Leah Galton, definitely pulled down. Referee's going to allow the advantage. Hinata Miyazawa back to Rach Williams. Letitia to Garcia. Garcia going to try and force her way through the middle. Zalem. Toon. Shazy. Shazy with some space. Looks to get it away. That is a big tackle that goes in. Referee says the ball was won. And Bachmann can bring the ball away to Chawinga. Well, I think there's 2 or 3 decisions that have gone against Manchester United there that on a different day all go their way.
Yeah, I think the refs got a couple wrong there.
Williams. Pulls it back to Toon. Toon through to Galton. Zelen. Towards the back post, it's brought down in the penalty area. Offside flag goes up against Garcia.
Yeah, you can see the numbers PSG are getting behind the ball now, making it really difficult for United to try and find those, create those little openings. Got to move that ball quick, which they have definitely done this second half. It's, again, been a much improved performance from the first half, in my opinion. Created lots and lots of opportunities, and things just haven't gone their way, like that Leah Galton goal, disallowed goal, sorry.
Marie-Antoinette Katoto onto the field. Well, that's a really tight call. In fact, onside a mile, Lucia Garcia.
Yeah, the Almeida was in that sort of sweeper position, well onside.
Well, make that 4 or 5 decisions now that have gone desperately against Manchester United.
That's really poor, Liam, because the lineswoman is on that side as well. So to not be able to see that, it's a real poor decision.
Referee's going to stop play again here. Yeah, and I think again you can see Leah Galton trying to explain to the referee that it clearly came off a Paris Saint-Germain player to go out, but the referee says no, it is a Paris Saint-Germain throw. That one is definitely a Paris Saint-Germain throw. Well, Manchester United have thrown the kitchen sink at it in this second half. Have been desperately unlucky with some of the decisions, but ultimately just haven't had enough against one of the most experienced sides in Europe. And let's not forget, this is a Paris Saint-Germain side that made the final of this competition last year.
Yeah, they're a very good side with fantastic world-class players on their team, but the threat was there. I think in the first half, Chawinga, we knew from the first leg what a threat she was, and she's involved in, you know, in the goals. And I think it's those sorts of things that Manchester United will rue and think, well, we knew that, and could we have done better here and there? But it'll be a learning experience for Manchester United.
Garcia going to try and get herself up the field here. Lovely footwork from the Spaniard. He's then brought down rather cynically by Ramona Bachmann. And I am surprised there's no yellow card appeared from the pocket there, but it remains firmly in the pocket of the referee.
Yeah, we've talked about the referee way too much in this second half, and I'd say she's not had a good game at all, and it's impacted on the game.
Mia Letitia going to try and get this one into the penalty area. It's deep. It's taken by Kitchener.
Yeah, I think it was a jump and hope by Rach Williams there, and I think she knew she wasn't going to get on the end of it, but wanted to try and impose herself.
Well, they'll be desperately disappointed, Manchester United, especially given how well they've played in the second half. Score the first goal and then get undone immediately 30 seconds later, and from that point onwards it just felt like their momentum had shifted.
Yeah, and these are the fine margins that we talk about, particularly in these Champions League games, and they will learn from the experience, of course they will, but you're right, they'll think about that time when they just scored that fantastic goal, got back into the game, were in the ascendancy, and just conceded straight after.
There will be a bit of time added on at the end of this for the injuries to Katarina Kitchener. I think that's 6 minutes. Yes, it is confirmed on your screen now. 6 minutes time added on. Just remember that Scott McTominay scored his double in 4 against Brentford last time out. Letitia need an option forward though, Manchester United. They are going to keep going here, Mark Skinner's side. Izawa tries to turn that one round the corner, can't complete it to Jay-Z.
Just finding it difficult, Manchester United, with PSG getting so many numbers behind the ball.
Izawa does pretty well there and finds Garcia. Pops back out to Zellum. Zellum slides it through to Galton. Galton with the effort. Hits it really well, but it's directly at Katarina Kitchener.
Really nice ball into Leah Galton, who moves her feet, shifts her feet really quickly to get that shot on goal. But the ball's been a little bit like a magnet to Kitchener tonight. Gone straight at her a few times. She imposes herself. She's a big goalkeeper, isn't she? She really fills that goal, and straight at her that time.
Izawa comes away from that tackle too, and that one. Hoisted out of play. Mark Skinner, active ball boy, gets it in the neck from the fourth official. Explains that nobody else is doing that job, so he's having to do it. It's a game of inches, and Manchester United on too many occasions tonight have been guilty of passes like that one that just haven't quite hit their mark.
Yeah, it has happened in the game, and in really important parts of the game as well, when United work so hard to work further up the pitch, and then just a poorly executed pass or a wayward pass and gives it back to PSG.
Katoto allows that to run through her, not on purpose. 3 minutes. left to play. Manchester United trailing by 2 goals. Turner. Garcia. Paris Saint-Germain just back and defending in numbers now. Once again, Mark Skinner playing ball boy. Letitia. Rach Williams. Chance for Toon! Oh, it's off the post. Well, if you want to know how Manchester United's second half has gone, that's it in a nutshell, right there. Jay-Z. Try and go around the outside, will win the corner. Everything that could have gone against Manchester United in the second half has done. That is a great effort from Ella Toon, denied by the woodwork.
Yeah, fantastic technique on the turn, able to catch that on the volley. Just couldn't hook it far enough. She might have been in an offside position and can't really tell who it come off, if it come off a PSG defender or not, but great technique. And like you say, Liam, I just don't think it was meant to be for United tonight. They've had lots of opportunities and they've just not had the rub of the green, which has been unfortunate for them tonight.
Ana Vittoria replaces Sandy Baltimore, scorer of the 3rd goal for Paris Saint-Germain. Going to take their time here as well as they allow a few more seconds to tick off the clock. Right wing corner. Zellum on delivery duty. It's a great delivery in. There's contact in the penalty area. Turner helped up by Rachel Williams.
It was a really good ball, sorry Liam, into the box there from Katie Zellum. But what I think happened is Rach Williams and Millie Turner both went for the ball. I'm not sure if Rach was helping her up other than saying, I was on that.
Zellum plays it against the on-rushing attacker, wins the throw. Good throw from Léa Letitia. Galton can't get there. Well, 30 seconds left to play and Manchester United had a dream that maybe they could make it to the next round of the Champions League. They have been undone by a quick-fire double from Paris Saint-Germain. And despite how hard they've worked in the second half, Manchester United have not been able to find themselves back in the game. Letitia with the throw, finds Galton into the penalty area. Rachel Williams gets the header in, deflects off a couple, goes out for a corner, which we are going to see. I would imagine, Lindsay Johnson, this will be the last action of the game.
Yeah, I would think so. They can get the ball into the box, try and get some sort of consolation.
Here it comes, into the penalty area, headed away. Jackie Grunin on the end of it, launched away. Referee watches this all the way to the byline and blows the final whistle. And despite Lisa Nalsund's early goal in the second half to bring Manchester United level, a quick-fire double from Lika Martins and Sandy Baltimore, the difference between the two sides. Manchester United through the kitchen sink at the second half. Decisions didn't go their way. The rub of the green certainly didn't go their way. And it means that the full-time score from the Parc des Princes is a disappointing one for Manchester United. Paris Saint-Germain 3, Manchester United 1.
Yeah, disappointing that, because after getting level early in that second half, we could have gone on and maybe done something special, but to concede so quickly after that, and then a very fortunate third goal for PSG. Eventually it finishes 3-1 to the French side. Siobhan Chamberlain here with me, and they will make the trip back to Manchester. Very disappointed, won't they? Because they gave it their all, particularly in that second half, but perhaps the quality wasn't there at times, and PSG have managed to get through.
Yeah, look, PSG are a fantastic side, and as you're right, United will be incredibly frustrated because they'll know that they could have done better. They worked hard, you can't question the work ethic, but technically the performance wasn't where it needed to be. There were too many passes that went astray, weren't clinical enough in front of goal. Kujanek made quite a few saves, but they were comfortable saves for her. They were in and around her. You've got to slot those away into the corners. You've got to make her work a little bit more. You've got to be, as we said pre-match, you've got to be clinical. You've got to be ruthless when you get those opportunities. And it'll be frustrating, and it's a learning curve for the girls, and I'm sure they'll be incredibly frustrated, but they've got to come back and get back into Europe next year by putting in a good performance in the league.
A couple of questionable decisions, particularly with the Galton goal, which we'll look at in a moment. But let's go through the action then from that opening PSG goal when first Kershawi and then Chawinga do brilliantly on the PSG left, our right. The pace and power of Chawinga was difficult for anybody to live with. Marriott makes the save, the ball rebounds to Martins, and there she is to tuck it in.
Yeah, it's a fantastic finish from Martins, but all the hard work's done by Chawinga. Her pace, her power is phenomenal. As I said at half-time, Riviere is not a slow defender, but she makes her look slow there because of how quick she is. Doesn't falter kindly for United. No one's following in with Lika Martins, and it's a comfortable finish for her with the power just rifling it into the back of the net.
Yeah, so that was PSG in the lead, and after United started very bright.